Alright, we'll jump right back into this. Welcome to part 2 of the MiniPov 3 by Adafruit kit build. You can't actually buy this one anymore. I think they're up to the MiniPov 4, maybe even a 5 at this point. But this is just an old obsolete kit that I had laying around that we're going to throw together here. So in our last video, we threw the resistors on using my nifty little lead bender here, which really shortened the work of getting the resistors nicely formatted for soldering onto the board. And the next thing we're going to do is mount these Zener diodes that I have right over here. These are 5.6 volt Zener diodes. I'll put a card right up here to my video where I explain fairly straightforwardly what a Zener diode is. I'll probably go into more of the science at some point in the future. But we're just going to go ahead and throw these diodes onto the board. Again, using our pre-bent leads. These didn't actually bend very nicely, but we'll stick with it. You'll notice on the silk screen here, if it shows, because they've got some glare, which is another problem I've got fixes incoming for, as well as the blurry feed on the camera, which I talked about in the last video. Anyway, so we've got a white stripe here on the silk screen on the board, and we've got the black stripe on the diode. So we're just going to line the black stripe on the diode with the stripe on the silk screen, just like so. There we go. And again, with the last one here, we'll just socket that in like so. Anyway, so that's them in. And we're just going to flip this over real quick and solder those on. Now these are very temperature sensitive devices, so I'm going to solder one lead of each at a time, giving them a chance to dissipate some of their some of the heat that built up on there before I solder the other lead. There we go. My preferred temperature for soldering, as you can see here, is 300 degrees Celsius. I'm not too sure what that amounts to in Fahrenheit off the top of my head. Hey Google, what's 300 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? She didn't hear me. Oh well. I'll try again a little bit later. I'll actually try now. Hey Google, what's 300 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
300 degrees Celsius equals 572 degrees Fahrenheit.
I don't know if you could hear, but that's 572 degrees Fahrenheit, according to my Google Home, which is a toy that I play with way too much. It's very fun. I can give it commands to play stuff on Netflix, and I can play playlists or audiobooks or all manner of different things. Generally, I ask it weird questions and try to get weird answers back. Anyway, so I'm just going to quickly throw these LEDs on. These are the things that strobe at certain rates to make persistence of vision make it look like they're actually flashing messages as you wave it back and forth. So we're just going to socket these in. Oops. Ah, bugger. Just bent that. Oh well. Okay. And you can see on the silk screen the flat side along the edge there. That's where we're lining up the flat side of the LEDs, which is the negative lead. Oh, they gave me an extra LED. How nice of them. Being as the leads on that one are kind of janky, I'll use this one. There we go. Alright, and then we'll just flip this over. This is going to be a little bit messy because they aren't actually really well held in there. So I'm just going to go down the line and secure one lead of each of these LEDs, like so. There we go. And there's that one. And there's that one. And there's that one. We'll let them cool down for a moment there. And I forgot to start that, but I can see the timer there, so that's not an issue. Pardon me as I talk to myself about background video running or video recording stuff. Anyway, so we'll just get these nice and adapted down. So what I'm just doing here is I'm applying a little bit of pressure to the LED, and then I'm reflowing that solder just so the LED, as the solder melts, you can watch here, it just settles down and lays nice and flush to the board. Which is what I used to do with my resistors until I got that neat lead bender, which makes them lay quite flush on their own without any need of external force. Anyway, so there's that side. And then we'll just quickly go down the line again. These are also temperature sensitive devices, so you want to be fairly quick when you're soldering them on. This is why I use a 300-degree tip. It melts the solder and heats the joint rapidly enough so that you don't get a lot of thermal buildup in the actual component. But it's not so hot, of course, that the thermal buildup is so fast that it torches the component anyway. Alright, so we'll just quickly crop these leads off like so. I got a comment from some friends that watch my videos that the longer segments that I used to do are hard to watch, so I've been limiting the length of my segments due to that input and also some learning that I did about making effective YouTube videos. Apparently 15 minutes and under are the most watched lengths, so longer videos, especially these more science-y kind of things, don't get as much view time when they're long. Some of my more informative educational science-y ones where I don't do the actual practical work here and explain more of the science of stuff will probably be longer. But yeah, we'll keep these to shorter segments. I'm bringing that up because we're actually going to wrap this segment up here. Due to recent changes, I'm going to have to complain about this in every video until I've exceeded 1,000 subscribers. But due to recent changes in monetization, subscribers are now very important for me. So do please click the link here to subscribe. I'll put an automatically suggested video that Google thinks you'll enjoy right there, and I'll put the playlist for this mini POV right there. And we'll see you in the next segment. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.